One of the richest institutions in history doesn't manufacture phones. It doesn't sell cars. It doesn't drill for oil. It sells faith. The Vatican is its own country. Tiny, smallest country in the world. Sits inside Rome, has its own passport, its own government, its own laws, which means its bank answers to nobody. Not Italy, not the European Union, not the IMF, not any financial regulator on earth. The only person the Vatican Bank answers to is, you guessed it, the Pope. So that means everything should be on the up and up, right? Everything should be nice, clean, transparent, no red flags, right? Religion is one of humanity's oldest institutions. It's inspired charity, art, community, and apparently a shocking number of grifters, and well, this bank is no different.
Oh, baby Billy, he comes out.
Meet Archbishop Paul Marcinkus from Cicero, Illinois. He ran the Vatican Bank for 18 years, from 1971 to 1989. Now here's what you need to know. He made two friends, and those two friends turned the Vatican Bank into one of the most scandalous financial institutions in modern history. Friend number one, Michele Sindona. Friend number two, Roberto Calvi. Remember those names. Michele Sindona, Sicilian banker, street nickname, the Shark. He moved money for the Sicilian mafia, the actual mafia, who in the 1970s were making so much money from heroin trafficking that they had a serious problem. Too much cash. Cash you can't explain. Cash you can't put in a regular bank. Cash that needs to disappear somewhere and come out clean on the other side. And he brought that cash, mafia heroin money, to his friend Archbishop Marcinkus at the Vatican Bank. Because here's the beautiful thing about the Vatican Bank from a criminal perspective. It's a sovereign state. Nobody can audit it. Nobody can subpoena it. Nobody can walk in and demand to see the books. It's the perfect laundromat. Sindona eventually got arrested, got convicted in America for running one of the largest bank collapses in US history up to that point, and wound up in an Italian prison where he died after drinking a cup of coffee, laced with cyanide. Sindona is gone, but the mafia still needs a banker, so they found a new one. Roberto Calvi, chairman of Italy's biggest private bank, so close to the Vatican that journalists gave him a nickname, God's Banker. Now God's Banker is doing what Sindona did before him, moving money, keeping secrets, running cash through offshore accounts in the Bahamas, all of it connected to the Vatican Bank. The scheme was enormous. We're talking billions. When it eventually collapsed, investigators found a $3.26 billion shortfall. The Vatican Bank was right in the middle of it. And then the walls started closing in. Calvi could feel it. The investigations getting closer. The phone calls getting shorter. The friends getting scarcer. So he ran. Fake passport, fake name, fled Italy in the middle of the night. He ends up in London, checks into a hotel, and 5 days later a guy cycling to work spots something underneath Blackfriars Bridge. A body hanging from it. The body? Roberto Calvi. Now, you'd think after all of this, the mafia money, the billions missing, the banker hanging from a bridge, somebody at the Vatican would face consequences. Somebody did get in trouble, just not the people who ran the bank. Marcinkus was indicted in Italy. Investigators wanted him. They had questions, a lot of them, but Italian courts ruled that Vatican employees were immune from prosecution. Immune. He moved back to Arizona and retired. What a life. Okay, fast forward, it's 2013 and everything should be good now. The past is in the past, no more scandals, right? The Vatican is publicly promising reform, new transparency, new oversight, new era. A European anti-money laundering committee comes in to review the books. They find 105 suspicious transactions in that year alone, while the Vatican was claiming to be cleaning up. 105 in 1 year. And the response? The Vatican issued more promises, formed more committees, published its first ever annual report in 125 years of existence. Yes, you heard that right. The first annual report in 125 years, published in 2013. A bank that processed billions of dollars a year, told nobody what it was doing with any of it for 125 years. And when they finally published the report, they described 2012 as a tumultuous year. Tumultuous. Hold on, wait. We got some breaking news. More arrest?
The Vatican has been rocked by arrests in a fraud investigation. A senior Vatican bishop, a member of Italy's Secret Service, and a financial broker were all arrested today. Italy's news service says that the bishop is an accountant for the Vatican. Authorities have been investigating the Vatican Bank, which is called the Institute for the Works of Religion. Earlier this week, Pope Francis named a commission to oversee the operations of the bank, and he has said also that he wants to do a sweeping study of the bank before possible clear out of top management.
Well, look, this comes at a terrible time for the Vatican because, yeah, they have been working toward more financial transparency to try to prevent money laundering. Some questions over the bank's finances and complying with international standards of money laundering. This couldn't really come at a worse time.
Some people question whether the Vatican even needs a bank. Pope Francis himself has said St. Peter did not have a bank account. Harking back to simpler times.
I don't know if that is going to gain any traction.
Okay, that's it, right? No more missteps, we're on the right path now. Right? You know Peter's Pence? The annual collection at Catholic churches around the world. Every Sunday, billions of Catholics putting money in envelopes because they believe it goes directly to the Pope's charitable works. Feeding the poor, helping refugees, that kind of thing. The Vatican used Peter's Pence donations to invest in a luxury property in London. In Chelsea, one of the most expensive neighborhoods in one of the most expensive cities on earth. Your Sunday collection went to a London luxury apartment, and the financial institution they used to move the money, already under investigation for suspicious activity. A cardinal, one of the most senior officials involved, was later put on trial. Not by Italy, not by the EU, by the Vatican's own court. He was convicted of embezzlement and abuse of office. They had to convict their own cardinal.
Vatican court sentenced a cardinal to 5.5 years in jail for corruption and embezzlement. Listen to this, including directing contracts to companies owned by his brothers. 75-year-old Angelo Becciu is the former head of the Office of Miracles that minted saints. He was once considered a possible next pope.
So what is the Vatican Bank? Is it a genuine financial institution that kept attracting the wrong people and making terrible decisions? Or is it the greatest protected money laundering operation in history, hidden behind sovereign immunity, diplomatic cover, and the moral authority of the church itself? The answer, I don't know, but after making this video, I need to repent.